Rex Chapman, Turner Sports College basketball analyst, former Kentucky star, Twitter legend, and his show, The Weekly Show. Rex Chapman premieres this Monday on CNN Plus. New episodes will stream every Monday. Did you get recruited by Coach K at Duke?
No, they knew I couldn't get in.
Well, how did they know that?
They probably just saw me do an interview.
Did North Carolina recruit?
Yeah, I visited Carolina. I loved Carolina growing up. I visited Carolina, Kentucky, Louisville, Georgia Tech, another place I couldn't get in, as a favor to Craig Neal, who played on the team then. But yeah, no, I loved Carolina. Dean was the guy. I was just talking about this to some buddies the other day. When I was growing up, and maybe Dean Smith was the guy.
Yeah.
Like he was, and to my son who's 29, Coach K is the guy. I just can't believe he's retiring. I kind of hate it.
But do you remember, did you go to North Carolina and you were in Dean Smith's office?
Yes, sir. I remember young Roy Williams was the main recruiter. He had just gotten into coaching, and he and Dean flew to Owensboro, Kentucky, to pick me up. I flew back with them to Carolina. They had Jeff Lebo, Brad Daugherty, Joe Wolf, Kenny Smith. They had a really nice squad. I had a great visit. Just probably wasn't going to leave the state.
But do you look back and go, would it have been better for me to leave the state instead of staying in-house where you were a legend in the state of Kentucky, and the pressure was probably pretty immense, that maybe if you'd gone to Carolina, would it have changed things for you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I do know this, that given what I've gone through, I'm not sure if I'd have gone somewhere else that place would have welcomed me back with open arms like Kentucky did, and the state and the university after some of my issues. So I don't really second guess that. Kentucky's an amazing school. It's been great to me. I love the people there. I don't know about the wouldas and couldas.
Yeah.
Louisville was really my only other school that I truly considered. And I grew up loving Darryl Griffith, Denny Crum, that whole thing.
Dr. Duncanstein.
Yeah.
I mean, that team, who was it? Bobby Turner? Was he?
No. You know what? They had Dr. Duncanstein. They had the McRae brothers, Rodney and Scooter, Poncho Wright, Wiley Brown had the thumb.
Missed his thumb.
Missing thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a team. And they got up and down the court. They were also proximity wise. Louisville was only about an hour and a half from Owensboro, where I grew up, where Kentucky is about 2.5 away.
How did North Carolina get here?
Wow. It's interesting. I did some of the tournament stuff for TNT.
How was that experience, by the way?
It was awesome. It was fantastic. Yeah. It beats working. So it was great. But I saw Duke play the first game of the season against Kentucky in New York in the Garden. And Duke was so much bigger that I thought this team has to be in the Final Four at some point. I completely forgot about all of that once I started looking at the brackets. That being said, I think Carolina's here because they're big. They are huge. They've got a big team. This matchup is crazy. I can't imagine. I can't believe this is the first time these two programs have met in the tournament. But what a beautiful matchup. I love Roy Williams. I love Hubert Davis. Nothing would make me any happier to see Hubert Davis win it his first year out. I'm rooting for Coach K, though. I really am.
Well, hasn't he earned enough? Got enough?
Nope.
I mean, shouldn't he share?
He is. Johnny Dawkins and those guys willed him to one of his first Final Fours. This team is willing him now to this Final Four. And if you'd have told me, we talked about Dean Smith a little while ago. You had that's how kind of I learned to watch basketball, was watching him. Coach K came in when that era of basketball was still going on, and look at how he's adapted.
Yeah.
He's not only adapted to, the landscape of college basketball with the one and done and all that, but I remember a few years ago, Jabari Parker playing for Duke just came down and launched one. No passes, just launched one. And I'm thinking in my mind, he's coming right out. K's jerking him out. Nope, let him keep playing. So there's some things you just have to let go now, and he's done that.
Yeah, we're talking to Rex Chapman. I'm watching a lot. There's a lot of bad shooters in college basketball, Rex.
I was built for this era. I invented bad shots.
You might have been better now.
Might have been. Don't have to play defense at all. Come on.
No, but I'm watching this, and I like Villanova.
I do too.
Jay Wright is a wonderful coach. Bill Self has done it again with a team that probably doesn't have a legitimate star there. We're investing more in the coaches probably than we ever have. Now, Hubert Davis is the outlier, but still he has the pedigree and that franchise does. Is that what college basketball is? I liken it to you're either 18 years of age or you're 23 years of age. It's either you're one and done or you're a fifth-year senior.
Yeah, I think we all have to get used to changing our lens of college basketball and what that means. Players are getting paid now. Just get used to it. They're professional players or semi-pro players. I got no problem with the coaches making money. I do have a problem with, now we see the transfer portal, and I know people are upset about it, but come on, this is a system you guys have in place. Now guys who want to be traded can get traded.
Well, the coaches have been in the transfer portal forever.
And that's my point. I'm fine with the coaches making the money, but they may need to sit out for a year if they go just up and break their contract and go somewhere else. That's not right, especially when the players couldn't do that. That's definitely not right. It's never been right.
Tell us about the new show on CNN.
Well, apparently they found something to do with me, Dan. I know you and I talked months ago, and you said, nobody knows what to do with you.
That is true. Yeah, I talked to Rex and his agent, and we're like, what do we do with Rex? I go, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want that pressure to try to do something with you.
And I got some really good advice from you, from Rich Eisen, from some people who know some things in the business. And, the main thing was, Rex, don't let them do anything too television-y. I'm not a host. I can't do what you do. I'm not a play-by-play guy. That's a whole different set of skills. So really, my show is just me sitting down and talking with people. I can tell you a few of the people that we've had on our first episode on Monday. It'll be Jason Sudeikis. I went over to London and interviewed him. We had a great time. Just sat at their bar that they go to in the show, and for an hour, and just had a terrific conversation. I've interviewed Ben Stiller. That'll come up on another one. Kevin Love, terrific conversation with Kevin Love, who we had never met each other. And we talked a lot about mental health. So I'm excited. I don't like anything that I do, whether it was basketball or this or I hate watching myself. They forced me to watch some of it. It's not bad.
They made you look good.
They made me look good. What they can do with editing and post production, amazing. Team of people.
Was Jason Sudeikis a college basketball? Did you talk about his college basketball career?
Yes, and it's fantastic. Because I don't want to give too much away, but I tell people that, like with Allen Iverson, if you go up to Allen, tell him you love him as a basketball player, he'll say, well, I'm a football player. You should have seen me play football. In Jason's mind, he's a basketball player. On his SNL, beginning of his SNL career, he's out on the playground here in New York shooting hoops. He played seriously, took it seriously, did drills, the Maravich drills, all of that stuff. Decent high school player, went to play in college. That's what he wanted to do. Yeah. So we get into that, a lot of other good stuff, and I'm just excited about
Social media roughed you up with the Pete Gillen rest in peace comment.
I'm thrilled Pete is alive.
I am too.
It was
I
a
am
great
too.
day.
But Rex, I'm watching it live, and I go, Rex can't be on drugs again. Like, Rex, you can't do this to me.
He can be.
No. he could be, but I'm watching. I'm going, I think he just said Pete Gillen was dead. And then I thought maybe you had Godsham God dead. And I thought, you're killing everybody.
That's what the guy said on the set. We went to break and Seth said, did you say R.I.P. Pete Gillen? I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I think he's alive. I said, oh, who am I thinking of? And he goes, and I said, I'm thinking Skip Prosser. That's who I'm thinking of. And who they both coached at Xavier when I was growing up. But that was it.
Have you talked to Pete Gillen since then?
They sent me a friend of his, took a picture, sent it to me, put it on Twitter. I sent back, great Pete, happy to know you're alive, buddy.
Of course, when he dies, they're going to say, hey, Rex, Pete Gillen died. Yeah. Hope you're happy.
I'm just preempting the sadness.
How do you do, because you're busy on Twitter, how do you react when you're the subject of Twitter?
Twitter's not real. Twitter's not real life, man. People come at me on Twitter all the time. Nobody does it in person. I see people out in the street all the time. Nobody says a damn thing. Twitter's just kind of fun. You can't take it too seriously. It's not real.
I saw somebody made a comment about you looking like Scott Van Pelt. But
see, I have the look. He took it from me.
Well,
Andre Agassi took it from me.
They said you look like Scott Van Pelt if Scott Van Pelt owned a chocolate factory.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And what's funny about that too is Scott and I get stopped. I get stopped in the airport all the time. People go, SVP. Sometimes I'm like, no. Sometimes I'm like, yeah. And I'll sign Scott Van Pelt and let them go on their way. And I know Scott gets the same thing.
Hey, great to talk to you. And good luck
too,
on Monday. And thanks for joining us, bud.
Anytime, DP. Thanks to all the guys there. Hello and goodbye.
That's Rex Chapman, Turner's sports college basketball analyst and former NBA star. His new show, Rex Chapman, premieres Monday, April 4th on CNN Plus. New episodes will stream every Monday.